We live, man.
Welcome to another episode of It's Debatable NBA Edition. I'm your host, Justin Jones, here with co Sebastian Pluvios, talking NBA playoffs. It's been an interesting playoffs to say the least. I know tonight, right? We're filming this on a Saturday afternoon. Tonight, it will be game 7 with the Los Angeles Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. That's been a great series, right? Phil, I seen Nikola Jokic just say out of all the series, if you're a real basketball fan, then you should be in tune with that series. So make sure you watch that game tonight. We're going to see which team advances to go on to face the Oklahoma City Thunder. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about another series that finished up earlier in the week. I believe on third, I think that was Thursday night, and that was the Los Angeles Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ironically enough, right? All we heard for the last month was Lakers in 5, just OKC, UFC, KFC, Lakers in 5. All the jokes, all the memes. Come to find out, came back to bite all Lakers fans in the ass, seeing that we lost in 5 games to the Minnesota Timberwolves, led by Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, and as crazy enough, in Game 5, Rudy Gobert. And I listen, man. We're definitely just gonna get into all that. It was just amazing to watch live. I want
I
you
ain't
to
letting
go
you off the
first.
hook.
I know I am the Lakers fan on this show, so I'm definitely gonna say what needs to be said. But go ahead, sir.
I
Just
want
how
to.
did you feel about this series? Go ahead. What?
I really just wanted to hear how you feel first, because it was
No,
championship
I'll go
this,
first.
championship
I'll
that.
I'll go
No, I
first.
really do.
No,
I
no,
don't
I'll
even
go.
want to.
Listen,
No, no, no,
listen.
I
I'm
don't
not.
know.
No, I'm not mad. Listen. No, I'll go
Nobody want to give
first,
a
bro.
fuck
I
what I
don't
want to say.
care.
I want to
Like
hear
I'll
from the
go.
Lakers fans, because it's not you. Because first of all, I've been
No,
able to
bet.
get in
All
contact
right,
with you.
bet. All right,
I
listen.
have other Lakers fans, and I'm gonna name them. My son Luce, Eddie. I haven't heard a peep from them throughout the whole years. Oh yeah, championship this. LeBron is looking like he back in Cleveland. We got Luca now. Austin Reeves is the best third option in the NBA. JJ Redick is a fantastic coach. He doesn't have his hands in his pocket like Darvin Ham. Oh, I heard all of it, bro. But me, I said shit. I was a believer too. I'm just like, yo, they could make a run for it. Like, like once you have that type of dynamic, it's just like there's no way. But in the NBA, there is a way. But in 5, bro, 5.
Nah.
I just want to know what happened.
So
I'm more interested in hearing what you have to say first, because feel me, you're watching these games with more like a feel me like a passion as a fan. You want to see like you want like the best for the team. So I just wanted to know like what was your thoughts like going on, like because feel me, there's games that was dead ass winnable. Like game 3 and 4 was so winnable, and just the fact that shit just went left. I just want to know what's your take on the series.
yeah. So let's go back. You made the trade for Luka Doncic. You give away Anthony Davis. Knowing what we know now, with the team we had to face, right, who have bigs, would I still make that trade? Yes, because I feel that Luka Doncic is still more of a all around better the player to have on your roster right now than an Anthony Davis. So even if before we made this trade, we knew we was gonna play Minnesota, do what I still have made the trade? Yes, because even LeBron said Luka's still great right now, but this move is a lot more about the future. So warranted. So the next thing though, and I think that's important that really came back to bite us. Shout out to him for kind of, trolling a little bit after. I probably would have done the same. We don't get Mark Williams. Mark Williams was a 7 foot center who can give you a double double, defend the rim. And if you're looking at this series now, that probably would have helped us a lot in this series. So still till this day, there's something fishy going on with that situation because I don't see why Mark Williams trolls them if it's like he was completely in the wrong. So something happened with that physical, and I said this before. I've seen Ben Simmons be traded, and that nigga's body, I don't know. The nigga's playing one day, airball and layups the next day, back hurt. He's been traded. So the fact that Mark Williams was never traded, I don't know. So that was just an interesting story that came back to bite us. We move on. We move on. We know that we're gonna have to play some type of small ball. Shout out to Jackson Hayes, right? Who a lot of people, once we realized he was gonna be our center, a lot of Lakers fans and just people who like to troll was like, he's just not good enough. This, that, and the third. Come to find out, he played his role to a T. Jackson Hayes was one of the better centers to finish out the last 2.5 months of the season. So we get to the playoffs now, right? We see that we're gonna play the Minnesota Timberwolves. I was confident in this series for the Lakers to win because I felt three out of the four best players on the floor was on the Lakers. I knew what Anthony Edwards was capable of, but I felt Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, LeBron James. Once again, out of four players, the top four players on the floor, I'm thinking the Lakers have three. Thinking the game slows down, LeBron and Luka in the half court. I just wasn't too sold on the Timberwolves' second option being Julius Randle. So now, really breaking down this series, game one we lose. I can't judge anything off of game one. So the fact that we lost, I wasn't mad. I wasn't happy. I was just even killed because it's like it's game one. You're feeling teams out. Teams make adjustments. We lost game one at home. We win game two. It's 1-1. I'm thinking this is when now we're figuring things out. We damn near could still win in five. And then you kind of hinted at it. We go on to Minnesota. Two games we could have won. It's fourth quarter execution. We let them come back after being up in the fourth quarter, literally just after taking bad shots and turning over the ball, bad defensive rotations, just everything. And then as you're watching it, the Timberwolves are just gaining more confidence, gaining more momentum. And Anthony Edwards is a closer. He's if Luka Doncic is on him, he's frying them. Austin Reeves is on him, he's frying them. LeBron's on him. You're just gonna have to meet me at the rim and we're gonna see what's gonna happen. So it's like Anthony Edwards had the confidence. He was he was the best player in this series. He now every game he didn't have 40, 45 points, but just the way he affected the game, the way he always had his confidence, the way that he just kept instilling that confidence in his teammates. Anthony Edwards did his thing. um I gotta give respect to Julius Randle, someone that on this show we've had guests on that talked kind of bad about him. You've been up and down on Julius Randle. I've been up and down on Julius Randle. He had a good series in my opinion.
Facts,
He
definitely
didn't do
did.
nothing magnificent. He didn't do anything magnificent, but he also didn't make a lot of mistakes. It was just whenever he got the mismatch, he was saying, "I don't care if it takes 16 dribbles. Either y'all gonna call 5 seconds back to the basket, or I'm gonna back down Austin Reeves and I'm gonna score." And that's exactly what he did. Um, they're role players. You talk about someone like Jaden McDaniels, who I think averaged like at least 18 to 20 on the series. That's another thing I don't think that we thought was going to happen. Right? You got people who came in like Alexander Walker. I don't wanna botch his name. Came in and gave good minutes. Nas Reed, when he had his head in his game, he gave good minutes. Um, it was just a full effort. Now on the side of the Lakers, let's break this down. Austin Reeves didn't play well. Period.
He
This was
didn't.
someone that we were very high on this whole season, and one of the reasons we ended up as a third seed and 50 wins. We needed you in the playoffs the first round. He was a ghost. He couldn't knock down no 3-point shots. He's getting called for a lot of offensive fouls, and this just wasn't the Austin Reeves that we was all praising. It just wanted. He was struggling to get 16 points, getting into foul trouble some games. This just was not the Austin Reeves. Now we've never really seen this from Austin Reeves, and now even though I hate seeing this, we still seen the reports came out. He got the injuries. Even though I don't like stuff like that, if you're gonna put out the man, then just say it in real time. Now it looks like you're making excuses on why he didn't play well, and the dude didn't play well. Period.
100%.
LeBron, LeBron James. I, Le, LeBron, I love LeBron James. Like him, watching him as a basketball player, known for a very long time. So I don't when people make these narratives and trolling, I don't even look at all that. I know what he can do and what he can't do on the floor at this age. LeBron, it looked like in some instances, especially in the fourth quarter, I would have to say looked a little fatigued, a little tired. And I'm only saying this because there was a lot of times to where down the stretch we needed him to score. I think it was either game three or game four, one of the fourth quarters, he went scoreless. The man didn't score. You can't be that much of an impact player, and now in the most important quarter, you're not really there. You're just a body on the floor. So I'm gonna put that on fatigue just at his age. You gotta call a spade because I wouldn't really know what else it is. I think it was game four to where we're up 2 points with at 50 seconds left. You got time on the clock. You pull a 30 footer. It's not necessary. You did the same thing 2 years ago against the Denver Nuggets. I remember, like, I think that was game one. We have a chance to win. I think in that series we was might have been down a point. Correct me if I'm wrong. He shoots another 30 footer and it kind of fucks up the whole game. Like, cause every possession matters. That's the thing about the playoffs. Those turnovers you might see in the regular season that it just gets chalked up to nothing. This matters now. Every possession matters. And LeBron, you taking that 30 footer, they came down and they hit a three. I think Ant or Julius Randle, one of them, they hit a three. Now we're down one. When we was up two, you could have just drove to the basket. Leave it up to the refs to make the call then, but at least we're getting a better look than a 30 footer. And we don't have a center. So if you're taking the 30 footer, it's not even like we got the best rebounder down there to tip it out. Remember Tyson Chandler back in the day tipping out those rebounds, offense rebounds, swatting it back out. We don't have that. So you're shooting the three. You're probably our best rebounder. You're not even down there. So it's like you're dependent on Rui Hachimura to get these boards or Dorian Finney-Smith, and they're 6'7". Rudy Gobert, 9 times out of 10, is going to win the rebounding battle with Dorian Finney Smith. Same thing with Roy Hachimara. Same thing with LeBron. The nigga 7 foot. We get on Rudy Gobert because the nigga's offense is one of the most suspect things that we've ever seen. But no one's ever said the man can't rebound the ball.
21 of them
So
things,
I
man.
think that was just so LeBron. So LeBron just like I said, LeBron just has to be better. He didn't have a bad series, but in important moments, he just wasn't too impactful. I don't know if that's
Well,
age. I don't know if that's fatigue. I really don't know. Cause I've seen to
quick
where where
question
where
though.
he was cooking. He's cooking. He could still get. Go ahead.
Quick question though, because when I was watching the series, I do feel like Bron ain't have a sense of urgency down late in the fourth quarters in a couple of games. Because I'm seeing it, I'm just like, yo, Bron, like you could drive to the basket. I felt like a bunch of times in this series he was settling for a lot of jump shots. Like I think it's the most like threes I'm seeing LeBron taking. Like feel me? Like don't get me wrong, he was knocking it down like game three. I think he had what 38. He was knocking it down in the moments, but I feel like in the fourth quarter, there's times where he's settling for jump shots when we know you could finish at the basket. Do you think that's something to do with just age, or just more so the fact that I guess he was just feeling like Steph, bro, because and it's in the flow of the game. Because when I look at it, it's just like we know Braun for getting downhill, and a lot of times it's just like you didn't need a three, and like you said, when you pull a fucking 30 footer, it's like, bro, we didn't need that. Feel me? Like you get into the basket was damn near be equivalent to us just getting a bucket. Like feel me, or you getting to the line. But do you think now that since he's getting older, he's deteriorating from going to the basket as much and settling for shots like jump shots, so he doesn't really gotta get like hurt or anything like that?
Yeah. Like I said. I don't. It's not fair for me to judge that. I'm a fan watching basketball. Now I've been watching LeBron for damn near since he came into the league, but I can't. Now what I will say is he doesn't have the size to be able to guard Anthony. Anthony you. It's not the most easiest. He's still strong, 260, 6'8". But Anthony Edwards is a young kid who he got the energy. You're not just gonna be driving by Anthony Edwards like that.
That's
Same thing
facts.
with
That's
Rudy
facts.
Gobert. I seen sometimes to where he had the switch and he got to settle for the jump shot, but it's like he just doesn't have that same first step. He's still a great player. He still had as a 40-year-old the best 40-year-old season we've ever seen. So it's not like he has to retire and all that nonsense. And to all the trolls in the comments, he needs to retire. This might have been the last time we seen LeBron. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he don't go out without a retirement
LeBron,
tour though.
LeBron has a whole. First of all, I was gonna get to that. LeBron has another year left on his contract worth over $50 million. He's not just gonna turn that down. And then to Seb's point, this is LeBron James. He's going to have a retirement tour. To all those who watch WWE, you seen John Cena's about to leave. You got to do it the right way. LeBron is not just going to leave and then just that's it. So all
See,
the trolls in the
see,
comments.
Kobe had his
Go ahead.
retirement tour. MJ had his retirement tour. There's no way we'd have a retirement tour for LeBron and he just run and he just goes off like that. Hell no, bro. He
Right.
did too much for the
So
game to not be appreciated.
so LeBron will be back next season, but let me just finish up here so that you can go. Luka Doncic. I Luka Doncic is one of my favorite players. That's what I'm saying. Him being on the Lakers doesn't, but that trade had to happen. Period. I don't. It had to happen because Anthony Davis wasn't a spring chicken either. So let's not do all this. Now we could have had AD win the series. I don't know about that. So Luka Doncic is the right player on this team. Two things, and I sound like everyone else, but conditioning. You throughout the series, 68.5 times you got drove by. That you're the star player. They shouldn't be looking to just pick on you on offense because you can't defend. Luca, you gotta try harder. It's coming down to effort. It's not like Luka Doncic is an old man. This man, I don't even know if he's even entered the prime of his career yet. You gotta get in a little better shape and you have to become somewhat of a more reliable defender because it's 68.5 times out of a whole series is just too much. It's saying more than half the time you can't guard anybody. And then it's like if your offense isn't going, which for the most part it was, which is why Luka Doncic is always going to be a perennial All NBA caliber player. But let's just say it's not to where sometimes the shot wasn't falling like in one of those fourth quarters. In the fourth quarter we just seen Luka, your shot wasn't falling, you can't defend. You're really just on the floor, either complaining with the fans or complaining with the referees, and that's not that's not good. Look at Game 5. Think it was it was we was down 4. Luca had the easiest layup. He missed it, which happens to everybody. He misses it, and then you're looking for the foul call. Luca, you wasn't fouled.
Get back on defense.
You wasn't fouled. Even if you was fouled, you missed that layup. The foul didn't, even if it didn't affect your layup, you missed the layup. You gotta get. You're down 4 and about to be sent home. I don't know if you ever seen that clip of Draymond. It was back in the days. He played the Houston Rockets and he ran down the floor and knocked somebody down
Oh
and then ran
yeah,
back. Do that,
he's
like,
not.
bro. At
Yeah,
least there's effort, but you
there's no
can't.
effort on the kids' end, bro. I don't
You
think. Feel me. You are who you are at the end of the day. Defense is about hustle and moving your feet. That's really spending a whole summer on just doing defensive slides, like getting the best cardio shape of your life. If he hasn't done it by now, and this is something that people talked about for like the past 3 to 4 seasons, it's not gonna happen now, bro. Defense is something where, feel me, you gotta want to play defense. You gotta, feel me, learn coverages. You gotta like take notes and do all that. If you're not willing to put in that work, like in the off season on working on defense, bro, just to be as good as your offense, then he not serious about it, bro. Because like you said, bro, majority of the time he looked like a cone, and it's like when you watching it, it's the first blow by. Then feel me, he'll try to recover, but then he realized like feel me, I'm already beat to the spot, and then let the blow by man, and then try to go pick up on somebody else while they recovering, bro. It's like it's their scheme, I guess, to try to shadow him as a as from being a bad defender. But at the same time, it's just like, damn, bro, you can't check nobody. Like there got to be some type of pride to where you got to just strap in, like a guy that's not known as a defender, but feel me, I seen him at least trying to guard Damian Lillard. I was watching that game against the Indiana Pacers this series, and Damian Lillard is just like he's locked in on putting like feel me. He's sitting in that chair and he's trying to put the straps on Tyrese Halliburton. And feel me, it looked like feel me, you could play defense. Like you could play defense if it's just how bad do you want it. Like, do you want that stop and then to get the ball at the other end? Like, I just think with Luka, it's just like you gotta look hard in the mirror this offseason and say, I know I'm great offensively, but what more can I add on? And the only thing that's really stopping him, and people have said it time and time again, literally said it last year. They said the reason why the Dallas Mavericks was not the NBA champion because Luka Doncic's effort on defense and his complacency with the refs. He's always complaining to the refs, bro. Like, feel me? Majority of his text throughout the season comes from complaining to the refs. I don't understand it. Like, you are a great player. Don't get me wrong, though, but you beefing with the ref is like it's only gonna feel me just make your case worse. They're gonna call more fouls because the refs are human too, and I forgot who said it, but it's like if you're gonna attack them as a human being and say, "Why the fuck didn't you call that call?" After a while, this is like they're gonna have it out for you. Like, feel me, they might not make it like clear as day, like a Scott Foster or some shit like that, but they're gonna have it out for you. And I think a lot of times when Luka Doncic is guarding and he gets called for a foul and he doesn't receive the same call at the other end, I think you wonder why, bro. Like, you feel me?
Right. Luca, to kind of talk on that real quick. Luca has to realize that, especially now, he's on a team to where he's with LeBron, and LeBron and Luca are probably the two toughest people to try to officiate. LeBron, because it's like he's so strong and fast. It's like you sometimes you can't even tell what a foul is and what's not. So that's already tough on the rest. Now you got Luka Doncic, where Luka, you gotta just be 100% honest. Not saying that you foul bait. I don't like that word, but you do manipulate the game to where you kind of get your defenders up into draw fouls and get them in foul trouble. You do all that. So now you're leaving it up to the ref to tell if is this a real foul or is it Luca draw this contact. And those are two different things right there. So you gotta just like you said, take a look in the mirror this off season, work on what you could do defensively, and then
And conditioning too, the
all right,
conditioning.
and
He
then
needs to be
definitely the
running 10
condition,
miles every day.
right, and that just comes over with dedication. I want to, but just to finish up, so the just that game 5, right?
Right.
JJ Redick, come here,
Oh, I know
JJ.
you. I know you was not
Uh,
letting him off the hook. I knew you was not gonna let him
nah,
off the hook.
J, no, I'm not. No, it's off the hook. JJ Redick. You are the perfect coach to coach Luca and LeBron and the Lakers in the future. You should have been top 3, I feel like, in coach of the year because people's also not gonna say no one had the Lakers finishing as top 3. I'm just saying, especially because remember when the season first started, and they started off a little slow. Oh, what's the difference between him and Darvin Ham? They got the. I remember you sent something. They had the same record through like 12 games, and all. But now the third seed, and I didn't see that post ever again. So Luke, JJ Redick you did a great job in your first year. He really did come for a first year coach.
Facts.
Give you your flowers. But now come take this walk with me, JJ Redick. Me and you are a lot like JJ Redick because we're stubborn. And once we feel something that has to be a certain way, we don't care what no one else has to say. We're doing it this way. I get it. I really do. But you have to live now with the aftermath of what you're doing. We lost game 5 to Rudy Gobert. I was waiting for me to get struck by lightning because I didn't even think we lost the game to Rudy Gobert. So it's not even
Boy,
like we lost and it was because Ant
who's
had
laughing now?
50 or Julius Randle had a triple double out of nowhere or or even Dante DiVincenzo broke the 3 point record and had 15 threes or some shit. Or we lost game five in the series led by Rudy Gobert.
27 and 21, man, looking like a
The
fucking
the
Shaq out there.
the Minnesota Timberwolves shot 7 for 47 from three and still won the game on the road.
Anthony Edwards 0 for 9.
So first of all, the whole Laker team, I can tell from the first quarter, there's no there's no belief that we can come back in this series.
Yeah, there was no sense of urgency.
Y'all already starting off in this 3-2 zone. This three, what are y'all doing? Not at one point was that zone working. From the first 3 minutes of the game, that zone is not working because they're getting these. They shot 47 threes. Rudy Gobert's getting how many offensive rebounds did he have?
That shit was free.
10?
It was free. I'll tell you that. 100% everything was free for Rudy Gobert that night. That was probably
Like,
the easiest. That's probably the easiest game Rudy Gobert ever played in his career.
so it's like that happened the first 2 quarters, okay, right? You're going to halftime. What adjustment did you make, JJ? You really just said no, we're gonna do the same thing. What did you see from that first half of how y'all was gonna stop the interior scoring and all these offensive rebounds? What adjustment did you make in the second half? Oh wait, no, hold on.
I was
I got
about
it.
to say one
No,
thing.
no, hold on.
Go ahead.
The adjustment you made, you put in Maxi Kleba.
I was gonna say when I seen that, they wasn't serious. That first three he took in the fourth quarter, that shit came off way off. I said, yeah, this shit is over. And what made it
Maxi,
even funnier is I didn't even know the nigga has not played a game. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Maxi Kleber hasn't played a game for the Los Angeles Lakers, let alone the Dallas Mavericks, the whole season. You thought it was the smartest, most tactical decision to throw in Maxi Kleber in an elimination game, down 3-1, and we have no center. That doesn't make any sense!
Oh shit. Oh.
So I
Yeah. Oh
Oh
shit. Now
no no
that's
no no
funny
no
as
no no no
fuck.
no 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 no. So that's not working though. Let me go deeper into my playbook bag. We're gonna put in. Come here, Gabe. Go in there.
And do what?
We're not losing based off 3 point shooting. They can't hit a three either. You're looking at the. You're looking at the report. Yeah, they're not knocking down threes either. They're winning in the paint. Do you see that man right there on the bench with the curly hair, light skinned dude who, when he was playing, Rudy Gobert had no more than 6 points?
He saw him. That's just not the route he wanted to go. Small ball. That's the new thing nowadays.
So the No, but so JJ. You gotta learn if you're gonna be the coach. You gotta put your personal feelings aside. We understand you didn't like being down three when it was you never been in that position. We understand how the media likes to ask stupid questions and all. That doesn't mean now you just shut down and now you just do whatever the hell you want to do.
Yeah, JJ was crashing. He said, "Yo,
You
fuck it."
thought Maxi Kleber and Gabe Vincent was going to stop the offensive rebounding of Rudy Gobert when you had Jackson Hayes. if you really just go on Google and type in Rudy Gobert stats, there's one game to where Jackson Hayes didn't play. He has a stat line. Look to where Jackson Hayes did. He literally played and started. The man could not go over 6 points. Now Jackson
Listen,
Hayes,
man.
yes, is also undersized, but the nigga could jump out of the gym and he has energy and effort. Maxi Kleba has less of a vertical than Nikola Jokic.
Less vertical than me. Nah, yeah, that nigga's trash. I don't know why they put him out there. I really don't know.
So,
I
so
was surprised JJ did that. I'm like, there's no way that he says, "Yo, fuck it. Let me lean towards Maxi Cleveland, see what I could get out of him." In crucial minutes too.
well, when you're a shoot, but then JJ knows this, and this is why JJ Redick was being stubborn. JJ Redick is a shooter. You know damn fucking well you need to be in a rhythm. You can't just come out of nowhere and now just what? Was this gonna be the Maxi Kleber legacy game?
That's what he was hoping, man. My thing is, if you need a
I'm
shooting too,
I
and the
just
bet,
wanted to say in the whole I'm about to let you talk. So we lost that game 5 because of slightly the coaching of JJ Reddy. You gotta take that one. But the overall series, like I said, when you had hit me up when they lost, the better team won at the end of the day.
true
I don't hold a gripe. I'm not mad. It's just yeah, the better team won. Anthony Edwards completely earned my respect. That game where he had 40, I was amazed, and he's really next up. Um, Juan, once again, every bad thing I said, Julius Randle, I apologize because he stepped up when they needed him.
facts.
I can't say nothing bad. Rudy Gobert, tip my hat to you. You had your legacy game when y'all needed it the most.
Now it's
I
Rudy
can't.
Gobert. What happened to Gobert, huh? When
I
when he was down and
I
out, it was
now gotta call
Gobert.
him.
Now
Hold
we gonna
on,
pronounce his name
hold
right.
on. I now gotta call him Rudy Gobert. I will no longer call him Rudy Gobert.
Rudy
But
Gobert, man, he
it's Rudy
stamp it,
Gobert.
bro.
All right. You got me. It was not Lakers and five. It wasn't OKC, UFC, KFC, Minnesota and five. But I also
Like
want to say this: Shannon
Lakers and
Sharp,
nine.
you jinxed us.
Yeah, he fucked that over, bro. Now
The
he's nowhere to
minute
be
you
found.
started saying Lakers in five, you owed a little 19-year-old girl $50 million for alleged rape. You jinxed us. I don't want you to ever say Lakers in five again, and you're not coming back on ESPN. Yeah, I said it. Stay on your little nightcap podcast. I already seen the other day you talking about you fucked men, and then they had to correct you behind the scenes.
Wait,
I don't want.
what?
Hey, listen, man.
What the
Th-
fuck is going on,
There
Uncle?
was a hold on. There was a clip to where he was saying that when he likes to date men, and then they had to kind of correct him, and he said, "Oh wait," he said, "Wait, what did I say? Oh no, I meant women. Like I meant." So listen, I don't know what's going on with Shannon Sharp right now. I don't want you speaking on the Lakers until further
Oh
notice,
shit.
so we can clear up your
Standing sharp.
situation.
We're gonna have to put you on a year ban, bro.
No,
Holla at us in a year, bro. Holla at everybody in a year, bro. You need to just look in the mirror and then just
but
reevaluate yourself, young man.
but all
Oh
jokes
man.
as- but all jokes aside, lastly, once again, shout out Minnesota Lakers first offseason move. If you haven't noticed, look around. Need a big man, and that's it.
Take note.
You can go ahead and say if there's anything you need to say about that, sir.
Nah, we pretty much covered it. Like, feel me? I just wanted to know. Feel me? This was a take. This was like a segment where I feel like I didn't really want to say too much. I really just wanted you to have the floor because, feel me? I just want to hear what you had to say because I would have been, because I know in your position, you're looking at it's like, how the fuck are we down 3-1? It's like, nobody could explain it to me. The media couldn't explain it. He's like, oh, when you have LeBron, he can do a 3-1 comeback. It's just the Lakers fans that online that say good luck guarding Braun, buddy. Like, feel me? It was just funny to me. But I know in your situation, I'm not laughing at you, but it's just like I'm just like, bro, how the fuck is this possible? Like, I genuinely was confused. Then I really sat there for game, like I was watching all the game, but game 5, I'm watching it. I'm just like, these niggas don't care no more. Like
Nah,
once I see
yeah.
Bron shooting like a fadeaway three, and then the commentators is like, you got to get a better shot than that.
Nah, yeah, I don't know what, bro. I thought like to start the game it was gonna be like a 12 to like 5, like a 12-4 run. Like when a team gets out to a hot start and now Minnesota gotta try to come back and like we're at home. I'm thinking the three's about to start falling. Luca has like 16 in the first, like he been having. We win game 5 and then game 6, whatever happened. From the first couple minutes, I'm looking like,
Yeah, it's like down 10.
what are
I think
y'all
at the point I
doing
was
right
down
now?
10.
No
I'm
one's
just
running back on defense. Why are we starting off in a 3-2 zone?
things is scary. But what I do know though is feel me, whoever's on the market that got value, Reeves might have to go. Hachimura might have some value because of his playoffs because he played a great game 5. I'm not gonna
I'm
front.
not giving up. I'm not giving up Austin Reeves or Rui Hachimura played a game. Without Rui Hachimura, we might have lost by 50. Shout out Rui Hachimura. But
Yeah,
Austin Reeves. I'm
I
not
can't have
trading
two
Austin Reeves.
cones.
Unless we're getting Giannis. I'm not trading Austin Reeves.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not.
think you could
I'm
have
not.
two cones.
I'm not. I am not gonna turn my back on Austin Reeves after one bad series. We're not doing that. No, we can't
Okay.
just no. Because here's the problem, and this has nothing to do with the Lakers. When the team lose, you have some good pieces. You can't press the panic button and give away all your resources. This is why this is what happened, and then we traded for Russ. Everyone, take a breather and just find a big man, and that we don't now gotta trade Reeves and trade. Calm down. Let's find a big man and go from there. We don't gotta make this major move. Reeves only leaves this team if Giannis is trying to come to the Lakers. If not, then stop. Please, Seth, don't even start this narrative. Stop.
I'm just saying, man. Feel
Stop.
me.
Seth, stop.
You have two starters that are a
Are you
cone
about
on
to trade?
defense.
If y'all lose the next series, are y'all gonna trade Mikal Bridges?
We just might.
Bro, why y'all can't do, bro?
Cause if something is better at the door, I ain't going for an
But
opportunity
I'm
comes
saying
once in a while,
the
man.
main point of the Lakers losing that series is not because of Austin Reeves. Now he's a factor. We do the blame pie, of course. But the major reason was we don't have a. If we had Mark Williams, I think we're still playing right now. I'll say that. It's just listen. You got outplayed, man. You got it. And crazy enough, this has to be said just so he hears this. So the universe in the universe. JJ Redick, you got out coached by a coach who didn't even do shit. He literally
Fell
just
right
did
into his
his
hands.
same game plan every game, and you just kept tweaking.
Shout out Chris Finch.
He never stopped playing Gobert. Ever.
Nah, he limited his minutes though. That small ball, when small ball was effective, he
Who
limited his
started the
minutes.
game? Every single game.
Yeah, you're not gonna
Oh,
take away
all right
Gobert
then,
as a
nigga. Yeah.
starter.
So Jackson Hayes, you start now. If you want to take him off the court after a couple minutes, okay. But you start with you have to set the tone. Once Rudy Gobert had 6 in the first 3 minutes, like yo, I got this shit.
Shit, man. Shout out Rudy Gobert once again though, putting up Shaq like numbers.
Even Shaq had to start saying it. I'm Rudy Go like, come on, man. It's like no one
Yeah,
seen that one coming. For that nigga on FanDuel who had that nigga plus 25 points, I'm on to you. Like something's
they
not
had a
right there.
conversation.
Like no, but yeah. So do you have anything else you need to say?
Nah, that's really about it.
All right. So yeah. Once again, shout out the Minnesota Timberwolves. They will move on to play the winner of
Winner
Golden
of
State and Houston, right?
yeah.
The winner of Golden State and Houston. So let's talk about that right there. Last night we had the Golden State Warriors versus the Houston Rockets, Game 6 at Golden State. I feel like most of the world, if you didn't live in Houston, thought Golden State should close that out right there. The more experienced team, right?
Right.
And Houston just did their thing. Here's the problem: to where Golden State got to figure out what adjustment do we make. Y'all lost that game, and Jalen Green had 12.
He has had a good game since game 2.
So it's like you gotta find, I feel, a way to stop what's his name? Alperen Şengün. I think he's kind of dominating this series,
I thought it
outplaying
was Fred Van Vliet. I think he's the factor.
Nah, you didn't even let me finish.
My fault. My fault. You said
God
Şengün for
damn, I meant the
my
wrong
fault.
player.
My fault. My fault, twin.
Like El Prince Şengün, I just feel him playing out of the post, just that mid post area. He's been very effective. I think that's been a major problem, and I think that's aggravating Draymond to where Draymond starts crashing out a little bit. It's not helping that they got Dylan Brooks over there or already fucking with his head. Draymond gotta kind of get it together. He shouldn't be having a flake in the first quarter. You gotta calm down because you're hurting your team when you do that. You already seen what happened years ago when in 2016 to let that 3-1 comeback after you got ejected after you damn near hit LeBron in the nutsack after you stepped over, you cost your team that. You gotta know how valuable you are to the team, right? You might win Defensive Player of the Year this year.
I thought the award already came out.
No, Dyson Davis
Then
won Most Improved.
yeah, but then Mobley went deep. I
He
just could have
did?
sworn. Yeah, Mobley won.
You right. I probably forgot that. So you were still a final three defensive player of the year candidate. You're just too impactful to your team. So I just think you gotta learn how to keep it together. In terms of Houston, Houston got a lot of young bodies that they can throw at Golden State. Shout out to Asar Thompson, the job that he's doing on Stephen Curry. I think I was watching Game 5. And it seemed like he had what he had like 5, 6 steals at the half.
Yeah, I believe it was five steals.
He literally Steph is coming past half court. He's just taking it. Like nah, like yeah, that dribble set is nah, no, it's not
The
happening.
Thompson twins, man, they defend.
No,
I saw that.
that's the type of player you need on your roster. Shaq, you know, to kind of talk about the Lakers again real quick. When he was saying what are the Lakers missing, he said they're missing dogs. They don't got no one that's really gonna. They don't got a Dylan Brooks, a Draymond Green, even a Thompson twin who's really gonna muck up the game, right? It's just that they didn't have that, so the Rockets do. They got the Thompson kid. You brought up Fred Van Fleet. He definitely was huge last night. 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Fucked up my parlay. Um, yeah, he was great though. Shout out Houston. Shout out Golden State. Game 7. I'm usually always gonna go with experience. I think Golden State wins Game 7, but anything could happen. It's literally win or go home. Oh, like, the X factor is it not just Jalen Green? I feel
Nope.
like if that nigga could have at least 25 plus, they're gonna be in that game, and then it's just late game execution. So
I ain't go for
I
it.
think
I
Golden
think
State wins, but if Jalen Green steps up and can have 30 plus. I'll say if Jalen Green has 30 plus points, the Rockets will win. If he doesn't, Golden State will win.
crazy. You said an X factor. I think the X factor for the Houston Rockets has been Steven Adams. When I'm watching these games,
I
Steven
just
Adams
meant
has
for
been very
I just
yeah.
meant for game. I meant for Game 7. Who's gonna
Oh,
be
for
the X
Game
factor?
7,
But go ahead.
I'm not because when I'm watching what has been working in these last two games is really, and we're bringing back the traditional two big lineups. You see how effective it is for majority of the teams around the league now. Feel me? Like Mobley and Jared Allen, fucking Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren. Like now they put in Şengün at the 4 and Adams at the 5. It makes it way better for Şengün to work in the high post, and whoever the defender comes to help, Adams get a quick dump off. Steven Adams too on the defensive end has been on that weak help side, the setting shots. He had like 4 blocks last night, and I believe like 3 blocks the other night. The only thing that fucks up Steven Adams is when they do Hackett Adams, when they send him to the free throw line. But other than that, I feel like just the addition that he has, and the Golden State Warriors, they don't really have bigs like that. Feel me? Yeah, they might have Kevon Looney, but he's not holding Steven Adams on the old board. Steven Adams is one of the best old board rebounders that's in the league. Draymond Green's gonna have a tough time too, because if he does have to deal with Steven Adams, now he got to deal with Şengün too. I feel like Ime Udoka has initiated Steven Adams into certain points in the game to where now he's been very impactful for them. Like he's been a great plus minus for them. Every time I look up at these games and I'm watching it, Steven Adams is like the anchor for their defense too. So now you don't got to worry about getting blown by. You don't got to worry about all that. You have a guy that's anchor. You don't got to worry about Şengün getting in foul trouble for real. That's what I look at it too. But also what I took away from these past two games that the Rockets has won, everybody's involved. Tari Eason is getting involved. He's more active defensively. Who else am I missing out on? Aaron Holiday's getting some burn. He's hitting some timely threes. Amen Thompson's was like someone you said on defense. On offense, too, he's not even really forcing himself to shoot. Like he'll take one or two threes a game. Maybe one might go in, but he's getting to the basket. I think he's starting to realize that, feel me, like whoever's in front of me, I'm blowing by it and I'm finishing strong. He finishes strong around the rim, too. Very athletic too. So when he's going to that basket, ain't much you could really do with him. Ain't no real like defensive big man for the Golden State Warriors that could do something with him. I'm looking at that too. I'm looking at contributions from guys like Dylan Brooks. Might not be the best offensively, but at game 5, he gave you a good boost when he had 24. Played some good defense the other night too as well. Like, feel me? He's not going to get discouraged. So when I'm looking at this team right now, they're playing with house money. They was not supposed to win that game 6. Golden State back at home at the Chase Center, they was supposed to close out that game. And the fact that they went on a certain run to where Golden State only scored like 2 points with like 3, like I believe the score was like 186, or and then in the end of the 4, it was 86. That was the amount of total points that the Golden State Warriors had at the third quarter, towards the end of the third quarter. They didn't really put up no baskets till the end of the 4th. Like when a game is out of hand, when Houston made their run. It's like, how do you counter that? Because when you look at it, Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, they had okay games. I wouldn't say they had the best of the best games, because if they did, they would have still been in it. But feel me, for the most part, like they're keeping the team afloat. Who else do you go to though? That's my thing. When I'm looking at it, Brandon Pajinski, he had an amazing, I believe, what was it? Game 4. Game 4 finished with 24, like 6 from 9 from the 3, all types of stuff. You think you carry that type of momentum. You know what I'm saying? These past 2 games, he's played like crap. Buddy Hield, another person, he had his swagger on. He had like, 17 points one game. He's shooting lights out, confidence. Play like crap too. So where is the offense going to come from outside of Steph and Jimmy is my question. And it's the question that has got to be asked going into this game 7. Can somebody else be a factor for them? I think Golden State needs more of another X factor than them. And this is the thing where people would criticize fucking Steve Kerr. Why isn't Jonathan Kuminga playing? Even in game 5, when they emptied out the bench, Jonathan Kuminga didn't get no minutes. Didn't get no minutes last night. Now all of a sudden they said Jonathan Kuminga is going to play these minutes. So is it going to be him? He's a player that kind of fits this series too. That's what I'm saying too, because he runs up the floor as an energetic, high flyer type of player. Wouldn't you want that on a team full of young guns that are out and running, that are pushing the pace, that are getting to the basket? Feel me? Athletic. Like, you wouldn't want that to counteract your play. I'm just saying though. So for game 7, like you did said, like Golden State is the more, experienced team. They should win, but I might want to lean towards the Rockets for an upset though. I feel like they're playing with nothing to lose. I think right now, just Udoka is just instilling that confidence in them. It's like, yo, we got the last 2 games. Like, we're still here. Like, game 4, they was close too. They made their run, but they just couldn't close out. But this game, I know you maybe Udoka's probably telling them, it's like, if we get off to a hot start, they can't fuck with us. So I think the Houston Rockets pull off the upset and pull off a 3-1 performance.
Like that would be tough, and then it'll be a lot of answers that the Golden State Warriors are gonna have to answer to if that collapse was to happen. If we seen already the 3-1 jokes before, they about to go into that storage closet and bring back those memes. So the Warriors are gonna have to figure it out. I'm just picking Golden State to win that game 7 strictly off experience. Betting against Steph Curry in a game 7 seems sacrilegious. He can just literally go off and just win that game. All right. Now
He
Jimmy
might go
Butler.
off. He
I
dead
don't.
might go off. He's seen his son was crying. He seen his son
Nah,
was crying.
nah, yeah. So I don't think. I think Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy know they have a chance to do something. They want to play Oklahoma City. I think they feel we can get Oklahoma City. We can try to rewrite history, right? So I think they're gonna really tap into their bag. We're gonna need that triple double Draymond to where he's knocking down 2 to 3 point shots. We're gonna need Jimmy as much as you can give. I'm not sure with that pelvic injury or I don't know what's going on, so I don't know what he can really give. But
He's going good 100%.
Like
He
he
had
just
27 the game right after the pelvic injury. Game 4, he came up big for them towards the end. I think even last night he had like 23. He's going to be a factor. I don't think that injury is just going to linger on for him. It won't stop him from performing in a game 7. I think.
right. And then Steph, man, Steph, we're gonna need at least 30. The number on the back of your jersey, Mr. Curry, we're gonna need 30. Yeah. Because now the Rockets are feeling like we can beat them. The
Yeah, that's
Rockets,
what
the
I'm saying.
Rockets are feeling like we figured something out, and we're gonna go back to the crib. Jalen Green is about to be able to get some pussy from Dre and Michelle at the crib,
Yeah,
right?
he's feeling
Like he
fantastic.
just
Yeah,
might go for that 30, huh? So
might go for that 30 and have another kid right after, man. He's crashing out. He's
I
crashing out.
hope you got that prenuptial agreement, but that's another story for another day. Um, so let's talk about another series though that is also gonna come down to a game 7. We started off the pod kind of hinting at it. Los Angeles Clippers, Denver Nuggets. This is hard. This is probably this is probably the toughest series to call for a game 7 because there's so many factors and what could happen, right?
Right.
I'm thinking about it from the Clippers side. If we get a vintage James Harden, I think they could win that game. I think Kawhi's gonna do what he's gonna do, and Zubac's gonna pretty much get you a double double. But James Harden, I feel, is the X factor for that team. If James Harden could step up, they're gonna be in that game, and then you give Kawhi the ball late and say, "Take me home," right? So I think that is what they're gonna kind of bank on. But now I'm looking at if I'm a Denver fan, we need Jamal Murray to have one of those kind of games.
He needs 40 again.
I'm talking about one of those. Pretend that you're playing the Lakers. Yeah, I need you to have one of those to where you're hitting shots whether we contest it or not. Yeah, Jokic is gonna do his thing. I don't even want to put no pressure on Michael Porter Jr. I don't know what's going on with that dude, but he's just gonna have to knock down shots. I don't know what the hell you're gonna get from Michael Porter Jr. Aaron Gordon, we're gonna probably need you another double double. You need to be a monster on those boards. You need to be effective in the paint, knock down some tally shots. But the X factor is gonna be Jamal Murray. So now
You ain't lie about that.
who's gonna win? As a Lakers fan, and it might hurt me to say this. I damn no. Go ahead, Steph. Who do you got? I need another minute to think. I don't know.
Ah, man. I gotta go with big fella from Serbia, man. I
Wow,
think game
you
7.
go with the Nuggets.
Yeah, I think that just the magnitude of the moment and being back in Denver. I don't know too, because Kawhi Leonard might really just, game 7 buzzer beater again, bro. It's like so much variables. It's like, damn, this series is good, bro. Damn, bro. And everybody's favorite word in sports, game 7. So it's like, bro, it's like, where do you go from here, bro? For a 4-5 matchup, it could literally go either way, bro. It could.
All right. If I'm going off history, I would say Denver will win this game. I don't know what you're about to get from James Harden, man, and that's gonna be so critical. Like James Harden can't have 8 points tonight.
Nah, he can't fold. Like
I
20
so
or
I,
higher. Like you got to finish with at least 25, bro. Kawhi Leonard 30. But one
no,
thing I do say about what the Clippers did, and it might help them for Game 7, is that they started Nicholas Batum. And feel me, I think that was a very smart move removing Chris Dunn from the lineup in that case. And that's why one of the things I respect about Ty Lue, he knows when to adjust. And in that situation, having a 5-out offense too, to now where you actually do got to close out on Nick Batum because he could give you like maybe 2 to 3 threes and then make the paint more available. And he could play defense too, and he could actually guard. So when I look at that, it's more so it's a smart move, and that might help them because it helped them game 6. But one thing about Denver is I know they're gonna adjust, but it's just like I feel like whatever team gets out to the hot start,
I'm gonna go with Denver. I think Denver wins this game. It's tough to call. I could really see it going either way. To your point, there's so many variables, but I'm gonna go Denver. I think that home court advantage
It's something
and
else.
and just Nikola Jokic, man. It's tough to go against the Clippers because I'm thinking about Tyronn Lue, him being 4-0 in Game Sevens, one of the best coaches in the NBA. But I feel they have just a couple more question marks with their team compared to compared to the Nuggets. So I'm gonna go with the Nuggets in a close game though. Comes down to the last shot. It's sort of like that game to where Aaron Gordon
Yeah.
did that rim violation that the refs didn't call.
Damn. It's
So
not
yeah,
this. I'm
I
jacking
think we're
overtime, bro. I think this is just the magnitude of this game, bro. It gives like a conference finals. Like it would feel like for a first round matchup, this should feel like a conference finals, in my opinion. So you sitting there, you just watching this, you like, damn, like both of these teams are like throwing like haymakers. Like, feel me? Like I'm talking about fucking whatchamacallit for the Clippers first home game, game 3. They threw out a haymaker straight, blew them out. Game what was it? Game 5. They go back to we go back to Denver. They threw their haymakers. Other than that, all these games have been relatively close. The last game, I think that feel me, like the Clippers really just found a way to just maintain a lead and just even though Denver went on their slight runs, they managed to like hold down the fort. But this game 7, I just think that both teams are just gonna come out swinging. Like it's gonna be a tough battle. Like it might be the same as game 1. Like you see how close game 1 was. I think we get that type of energy tonight from both teams.
now I'm expecting fireworks, expecting a good game. Damn man, Jokic, if you prove the voters wrong tonight, this is the time to prove. This is where if you got these 40, 50, 30 million plus contracts per year, we need you tonight. Yeah. Like this is
Yeah, we need
when we just
35, 20
yeah.
rebounds, 13 assists.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, definitely gonna be a great game. Who, who you got though again? Who you said?
Denver.
I'm going Denver as well. Definitely no, not being biased or no hate. It's close, but I'll just edge
I
it.
wouldn't be mad if the Clippers won.
Right, that reminds me. I wanted to say this though. Weirdly enough, though, I think the Clippers serve a tougher matchup for OKC though than Denver would if they was to win this game.
Right, right. I definitely do agree on that.
So, but
It's just getting out this game is just
right. So now let's talk about a team who did advance, going on to the next round, and that is the New York Knicks.
yeah,
Right? They
yeah. I was saving my energy. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, hold on. Did you see that fourth quarter? How Stephen A. said it? Did you see that fourth quarter? Did you see that man, Jalen Brunson? Did you see? Did you see it? Did you see it? I saw it. I seen it. I seen it. What they said? Clutch player of the year. Clutch player of the year. How much points in that LT? Huh? First off, let's walk it down. The fucking Detroit Pistons go on a 13-0 run. But no panic, no panic. Because guess what? We got motherfucking Jalen Brunson, and he just takes over the fucking game. 11-1 run. Holy shit. Guess what? Fourth quarter time. Time is ticking down. Time, game. We got Asar Thompson, who just got a stop on Jalen Brunson, literally the last possession. It don't matter. Guess what? Snatch. Create that space. Hold on. That's too open. He too open. Hold. Green, nigga. Pack Detroit up in 6, man. Pack Detroit up in 6, man. Hold on. Put Detroit in my split. Yes, sir, man. Shout out to the New York Knicks, man. Shout out to the New York Knicks. Got a tough task, though. We definitely got a tough task. We got the reigning, defending NBA champions, the Boston Celtics, man. But what I'm expecting is just toughness, bro. Like, if you're gonna lose, don't lose like no bitches, man. Feel me? But as a fan, I'm gonna say that we got a chance. We got a chance. I'm gonna let you say what you gotta say because I know what you're gonna say, but I'm
Nah,
gonna just
it's
let you say.
not. It's not. This is your moment. You earned that right. You won this round. Let me know when you're done.
All right, bet. All right, so for this Boston Celtics game, I'm telling you right now.
Oh wait, hold on. Wait. Slow. Can you talk about the series that has happened? Slow down.
Listen, I'm
Damn.
past the series, man. I'm
Nah, all right.
past
No,
it.
so then let me go then, because you
No,
can't.
no,
You can't just skip that.
no, I'll go.
All right,
I'm
there
saying,
you go. Talk
but
about
yeah.
the series
All
first. Give
right.
me that.
So first of all credits to Detroit too. Had an amazing season. Just from where they start, from where it was last like couple of years to just even being a six seed is definitely a testament to just the work that JB Bickerstaff has, including the vets like Tobias Harris, Malik Beasley. Who else? Dennis
Tim
Schroeder,
Hardaway
Tim
too.
Hardaway. Yeah, guys like that who came into this team and really just elevated these young guys to just putting a little belief in their back that we could do something special here. And the young guys are buying in like K just installing the confidence within the vets. Because a guy like Tobias Harris last year, everybody was shitting on him and said, "Why would Philly pay him that money?" Like, feel me, Tobias Harris is a joke, all types of shit. They try to send him to Detroit to drown. They try to send Malik Beasley to Detroit to drown. Tim Hardaway just came from a finals appearance. Try to send him down, but no, they revamped this Pistons team, and now this looking like a young team that could be a problem in the foreseeable future. Just keep making the right moves, keep trying to build around Caden, Jalen Duren,
No
and feel
Jaden
me,
Ivey.
no Jaden Ivey too. Feel me, when he gets back too, we will see what that's about. And just the fact that this young team just came out hungry, like every game was a tight game. I'll give them that. Like, feel me, every game was like there was no double digit win for real. Like all these games finished around like 2 or 3, and like that hasn't been done since like damn near like the 1980s. So all credits to the Detroit Pistons. I think this series alone, it had to make the New York Knicks tougher. Like they had to get mentally tough in order if they was gonna leave out this series because the Detroit Pistons was mentally tough and like was physically tough and just stronger. We was just like the better team in my opinion because we did have Jalen Brunson and Karl Towns like two perennial All Stars. But at the same time though, it's like the Detroit Pistons. Anytime that the New York Knicks went on a run, it was not phased. They said, "I bet our third quarter we're gonna make a run for it." Asar Thompson just a couple games where he just really just dunking everything. Jalen Duren, who looks like he could be a promising big for the years to come, he's just hitting every free throw. He just every pick and roll I see Jalen Duren in was a good action for him to either score or if a dump off pass to Asar Thompson. So I'm looking at this, I'm just like, this team is giving us a run for their money. They're playing with house money though, but at the same time, it's like I'm watching this Detroit team and it's just like they're fucking tough. All credits to them. They're tough as shit, man. And I think that they really just they made the New York Knicks tougher. And I'm gonna repeat that again because when I look at it, a guy like Mikal Bridges in that game 6, I came out on the pod like when I had my episode the other day. I came out and said, "Yo, Mikal Bridges, we need more from you. You need to look like film. You need to get a little more aggressive." Like every time I look at Mikal Bridges, he was very nonchalant in this series. But in game 6, he started showing some emotion. Yeah, he dunked on Cade. I'm just like, yo, you have to start dunking. There's no way you're getting pinned down. You're like 6'7", 6'8". He threw that shit with force, and now he's showing emotion. Like shit like that is what you need from players in the playoff series. It's like there's no time to be nonchalant when feel me. Every game counts. Like there's not a game where you could take a break and say, "Oh, we don't need this game." Every game counts. So when I look at it, the New York Knicks definitely got mentally tougher off the strength of the series. There's a lot of question marks though. I definitely still feel like we have to adjust to. One being we cannot do anything without Karl Anthony Towns being a great player. If Karl Anthony Towns is not on, it's a struggle. And that's no disrespect to who's been the most second consistent option, which is OG Anunoby. Shout out to OG Anunoby too, by the way, for just playing both sides of the floor. Very tough defender and just giving us points when we need it in crucial moments. But Karl Anthony Towns has to be the definitive second option to where he's putting up 23 to 25 a game. And there's been times in this series where he's looked soft, and that's been the narrative around him that Cat plays soft or that he's not a player performer. Karl Anthony Towns gotta man up in the next series, man. I think that he got away with it just off the strength that we have, clutch player of the year, Jalen Brunson. But other than that, though, like I'm gonna need more out of Karl Anthony Towns. Another thing I notice is with our bench, we're not really getting enough from the bench. Deuce McBride, somebody last year who I said he could keep getting better. Like feel me, he was hitting timely threes, he was getting great defensive stops. He's looked like a shell of himself in this postseason. Like when he goes in, like feel me, he might hit 1 3 in the first quarter, then just fade away for the rest of the game. Don't even get a stop. Another person who I seen, Mitchell Robinson, and it's like it's an up and down thing with Mitchell Robinson because there's points in the game where he did give great minutes. Like he's getting put back dunks, he's getting great offensive rebounds and kicking out. But there's other points in the game where it's frustrating because that man could be a double machine if he really wanted to. He just can't catch the ball. Like there's been so many times where there's a play and Mitchell Robinson is literally the only man open, fumbles the ball. Shit looking like Gary Trent or Malik Beasley when you're right there at the rim and you could finish for the easy two. But other than that, I'll take away from this series is that just keep building confidence, man. Just keep building what, like, feel me? All these games matter. When you get into war in these fourth quarter games and you might be down 6 or 7, it's not a time to get discouraged. It's not a time to really just be counted out. I feel like a lot of times we made a lot of late fourth quarter runs, so that's an encouraging sight to see. I do want to see us maintain a lead a little bit more. I feel like every time that we went up 15, Detroit had an answer for that. I don't think you could do that with Boston to where if you're up, you got to just run away because that's the team that can really come back and then shift the whole dynamic of the game. But other than that, though, shout out to the New York Knicks for advancing. Shout out to the motherfucking Jalen Brunson for this handling business. 40 points in an elimination game, bro. The man is really like that, man. First team on NBA. Shout out to Jalen motherfucking Brunson, captain of New York, man. Yo, when I tell you, I'm gonna finish it off like this. Watching that shit live, it is like it hits different when you watch it live rather than watching the highlight. Because in real time moment, it's just like, yo, you know who the ball is going to, but you want to see if he operates. And the fact that he made that much space, I was just like, yo, this got to be good. Because at a point in time when it was 105 to 112, I said, yo, fuck, we're going to game 7. And I said it too. I said, I cannot take the anxiety of going to game 7. I did not want to go to game 7. But guess what? Jalen Brunson said, I got you, bro. Jalen Brunson, he told me, yo, I got you, bro. No game 7, man. This shit ends tonight. All the fans went home crying, feel me? That shit, you could hear fucking, you could hear mics just running to that arena or some shit like that. That's how quiet it was after that game. But yeah, other than that though, Monday, that's a whole nother thing though. But I'm gonna let you take the floor. I feel like I took up too much time.
Now, are you done? Is there anything else you want to say? Because I want you to get this all out of your system. So go, Alice. Let me know you're done.
For now,
You want to
for
talk
now.
about Tom Thibodeau's haircut? He looked nice. You want to talk about the assistant coaches. You want to talk about him getting the double bang for the last. Is there anything else you need to say? I don't want you to say I didn't let you get your rocks off, bro. Like what?
Nah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
All
I
right.
said what
So
needed to be
now,
said.
all right. So shout out to the New York Knicks. Definitely got the job done. Um, Pretty sure I had them losing this series. I think in 6 or 7 games or something like that. So a part of me just being a little bit of a hater. You know, me and you's gonna go back and forth the whole season with our respective teams. So the Knicks just got the job done though. Jalen Brunson definitely deserved the clutch player of the year. Even before he hit the shot last night, was really good in almost all the fourth quarters, right? So shout out to him. Carl Anthony Towns, for the most part, played a good series. There was some times, even like last night, to where he fouled out and could have cost his team the game, knowing that they need him on the floor, right? But then look, the game before that, right? That was game 5, to where he hit like 2 clutch threes in the last minute of the game that damn near won y'all that game, right? So he's gonna have to be. Like you said, a very impactful player on the floor when he's out there if the Knicks are going to continue to have some success. Um, OG Ananobi and Mikael Bridges, they're gonna have to be more consistent for their next series if they're gonna want to pull off an upset. Um, Tom Thibodeau is gonna have to figure out what he's gonna have to do with the minute rotation, especially with the next series. So I'm interested to see that, but they got the job done. What I seen in this series, you kind of talked about it a little bit. There wasn't no game to where either team really blew the other team out, right? It came down to a lot of fourth quarter late game execution, and the Knicks made less mistakes that the Pistons did. And that just comes with experience. A lot of the players on Detroit haven't really been in the playoffs, let alone play in games to where they're meaningful. We're forgetting before this season, every single Detroit game was really just to see how long the losing streak was going to keep going for. So to go from that to now this season playing in meaningful playoff games to where every position matters, shout out to them. Just talking about the game six, like you said, Jalen Brunson hit the huge shot. I'm watching that live at work. I see him hit the crossover, and I'm like, oh god, and then hitting the shot on that. I'm like, oh, like because that was just a big shot. Period. If you're a fan of basketball, whether you don't like a team or a player, you respect good basketball, good moments, great shots. That was just a great shot. Period. So shout
What
out to
that
Jalen.
guy said, the Sacramento guy. If you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball.
Nah, nah, for real. Like that was just a tough shot, period. Right? So shout out to him. I'm trying to Detroit, like I said, young team, promising future. That coach should definitely, once the time is ready, get just give him an extension. Um, I'm not sure what else they need particularly right now. I wouldn't really make any big moves in the offseason. You want to add a player here or there, go ahead. We spoke about Jaden Ivey, who didn't even get to play this series, which is a I think one of the three most valuable players.
Right.
So yeah, you just gotta keep building, have a good off season, keep building good habits, and yeah, you just go from there. Shout out to Detroit, had a great season, great future. Shout out to Cade. Um, was a finalist for most improved, ended up giving that award to Dyson Daniels. Um,
Robbery.
so yeah, they have a good future. Now in terms of the next series, the Knicks and the Celtics, the problem I have is that, and you kind of hinted at, the Knicks bench is too suspect. And the Boston bench could be a starting lineup. I ain't gonna lie to you. Really watching some of these games throughout the season, um, the Celtics are just a very good team. Like they're really, really tough to beat. Cause it's like forget Tatum and Brown, who 9 times out of 10 are gonna do what they're supposed to do as the stars of that team. You're talking about you got someone like Derek White on any given night can really give you 30 points.
Facts.
You got someone like Al Horford, who I think him and LeBron take the same type of drugs to where they could keep playing at a high level at their age. Besides, we're talking about old men playing in the NBA. We all talk about LeBron being number one, and he's the creme de la creme. Al Horford's number two.
Shout out Unc. Shout out Unc. Yeah,
Like, cause it's
Unc
like
definitely hoops. He definitely hoops when needed
still
to.
a good defensive player. Still gives you meaningful minutes. Can hit down 3 point shot. He's a better 3 point shooter than a lot of people we call 3 point shooters.
Facts.
So it's like, so shout
What
out to
his
him.
number's called? Yeah, he's there.
I'm not even done. We can talk about Peyton Pritchard, who literally was sixth man of the year, who would be starting on other teams. Who I was a big hater on. If y'all want to find the footage, I used to really bash Peyton Pritchard, but he's proven me wrong. He could just whenever Jalen Brown and Tatum wasn't playing, or it was an unmeaningful game and they might have rested, and he was starting, he was cooking. I believe I
100%.
forgot what record it was, and I'm forgetting what game it was, to where him and Derek White started, and they both had was it 40
Yeah, against the Blazers.
against the Blazers. So it's like that's dangerous just to have coming off the bench. I didn't even mention someone like Sam Hauser. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but he can give you 15 to 18 on any night off threes. You want me to mention Luke Cornett, who looks like a fucking high school science teacher, but on any given that give you 6 to 8 points and just bring the momentum to the team?
Nah, it's a lot. Trust me, I know it's a lot.
So I didn't once again notice I didn't even mention Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum.
You didn't even mention
So I
Porzingis and Drew Holiday either.
didn't even mention Porzingis and Drew Holiday. So they just got way too many options. I, I just don't think the Knicks could win that series, and it's not hating or anything like that. It's just how. I just don't. I don't see it. If you could prove me wrong and rewrite once again, rewrite history, but I just don't see it.
I take it one. I'm taking it one game at a time. I said let's just get it to six first. I say if we want to win this series, game one we have to steal. I think game one is very imperative that we steal because you could win game one and then Boston bounce back and win game two and then take the momentum to game three. Game four you still have at home. I think that's really important. If we want to win this series, we got to steal home court advantage. That's a tough ask to do, especially losing 4-0 to the Boston Celtics this whole regular season. But I think right now, I think that the momentum off of this last series, if it could just come into this game and just handle business and just Karl Anthony Towns has to be the best player on the floor. Him and Jalen Brunson, because I know Jalen Brunson's going to be there, but Karl Anthony Towns has to really just dominate this game to where now Porzingis can he has to work. You got to work these players, and I think that if we want to be serious, and Shaq said it best, if you want to have at least a chance of just making this series competitive, Karl Anthony Towns has to, he has to turn his game up. That's literally why we brought him here. He has to turn his game up. Simple as that. If Karl Anthony Towns is not hoping, we have no chance.
Here's the problem. That whole sounds good. But it's like you was watching the Celtics. I'm talking about I've watched games to where they're down double digits and just coming back off threes. We're forgetting to take the most threes in the league. And
Right.
if those threes are hitting, Seth, you know it because you've watched them too. It gets scary.
It do, but
I
if
just
I'm looking at
don't.
it, they didn't. But that's a testament to the Orlando Magic's defense too, as well. They didn't really shoot great from 3-point range.
No, but
No,
no.
that's it.
I'm not. Forget the. I'm not talking about that series. I'm talking about this whole season from the
Not yet. In
Boston
general, I know
Celtics.
once they shoot lights out, it's hard to play catch up, especially if you're not the greatest 3-point shooting team and you're in a shootout with them. I'm hoping that's not the case. I know it's going to be the case for one of those games, but I just hope that
No, but
this
I'm
is
saying
just
right. That's
the
their offense though. So it's not like
no
they just
100%.
go to
That's
do
Joe
that's their
Mazzulla's
offense. So
philosophy.
y'all, what you're saying is y'all are gonna have to stop that 4 times. Then y'all couldn't do it once the whole season.
Yeah,
So
no,
so
100%. It's a tough ask, but at the
I
same time,
just
as a
don't.
fan, you got to at
No, yeah,
least
no.
take it one game
Listen,
at a time.
I know you're gonna say you believe in the Knicks, just like if the Lakers playing the Celtics, I'm gonna say the Lakers are gonna win. But you gotta give respect where it's due.
No, that's the defending
It's
champions we talking
just
about.
it's almost crazy for me to say that the Knicks would win that series. That's crazy for me to say. I just literally cannot say that. This is
You
I
got
don't
to take it
understand
one
how.
game at a time. New York, feel
And
me?
then
It's
you
just
got to
like,
think Jalen Brunson is gonna have a little bit of a tougher series now when you're gonna have Derek White and Drew Holiday guarding you. So that's gonna be a little. Jerry Buck's probably still gonna get his numbers. Probably still gonna average at least 20. But yeah, and same thing for Carl Anthony Towns. We talk about Al Horford and Porzingis. That's not like you're gonna need
listen,
something. Now, I think what's gonna be important for y'all. I need OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges to play the best defense they ever played.
yeah, that's really
Like
it
to
too.
stop Brown and Tatum. Like because Tatum is just once again does not get the credit that he deserves. Tatum is a top 5 player in this league, and
Without a doubt.
like he's that nigga, right?
Yeah, without a
So,
doubt. And when he gets going offensively to where he's on a one-on-one ISO, ain't too much people can fuck with him though. You just gotta make it. You just gotta make it as tough as possible. Like it's a tough axe though. That's the thing though.
but
Like
then look what you
I
said
really
though,
wish it was
said
Cleveland.
no, yeah, but look what you said, right? Who y'all gonna go to on the bench? Eventually, your starters are gonna get tired. Who's now gonna be able to come off your bench and kind of hold half a quarter for you?
Tom
Who?
Thibodeau, if you watching, we got PJ Tucker old ass, bro. We just need it for 5 minutes, bro.
Hey, I'm not mad at that for him, but then it's like, he I can't remember the last time I even seen him attempt a shot. He could
I
he he
seen
go he could run
my
around
my son
and
had
buck up
8 points
game,
against the
but
Brooklyn Nets in the last game of the season. But please, bro, like
we're
at
gonna get
least
into
give
that
the
for that.
starters some bro. Please, bro. Like we gotta play somebody, bro. And honestly, too, I think we might have to play DeLon Wright a little. He's a 6'5" point guard, and he has some defensive prowess that I've seen throughout the season when he did play when Jalen Brunson go out. If we play campaign, we're fucked. I'm sorry to
I don't
say.
know if Campaign's the person for this series. I might agree with you
That's
that
what
he's
I'm
a little
saying.
right, but
If we do the lineup to where it's Campaign and Deuce McBride out there, when you have damn near two fucking 6'8" players, we're fucked. We're completely fucked. I think this is just me. You got to put in some size out there too. Precious Achua got to get some burn. Even if he's not like the best player, but feel me, you might have to give him some burn too. We can't. It can't just be Cat out there and
y'all are
Mitchell
gonna
Robinson. And yeah,
y'all y'all,
it's
y'all
a
are-
lot to ask, but Tibbs got to coach his ass off. This is another thing too. Tom Thibodeau will be on the hot seat too, depending how we lose this series. Because if we're not using our bench rotation pieces like that, to where we could at least get them in the game for at least maybe a couple minutes to get the starters a break, we're fucked. Tom Thibodeau will get some blame too. He got a coach. He can't run out or just say, oh, they were just a better team. You got a coach, nigga. And you've been known for just running plays to the ground. You got to use them pieces on the bench. Trust me, man. Trust me. It's not an easy ask, too. But you will be on the hot seat if you cannot at least force us to a 6 or 7. I promise you that, man. Tom Thibodeau will lose his job if we get swept or a gentleman swept. You got to coach, nigga. You got to coach, man. Can't
let
just
me
be
tell you
yelling.
something. Jalen Brunson, Rick Brunson, Jennifer Hudson. Celtics at 5.
Man, nah, we ain't going out like that, man. We're not going out like that, man. Yo, New York, stand up. We're not going out like that, man. I promise you. Knicks in 7.
Yeah, so this how I know you know they're gonna lose. Niggas
We're not.
only
We're
nah
going to
niggas only
7.
say their team in 7 when they know they about to get their ass kicked.
We're not
Yeah.
getting our ass kicked, but we still game 1. Yo.
Yo,
Listen,
I'm
if
weak.
y'all want the locks, y'all take the Knicks money line plus 300 right now.
Alright, yeah,
If
no
you
one
want
do
to
that.
be
Wait, nobody do
if you
that. Yo,
want to be on,
he's
if you
talking
want to be on
shit.
the safe side, yo, chat.
He's
If you want to
not
be on the
putting
safe
no
side,
money on Nick's money line. He's not even about to do that.
I am.
He's about to go
Watch,
strictly player
watch,
props. He won't
watch.
put Nick money line.
Taking Knicks money line. Watch me.
Now, FanDuel really
Watch.
came to New York for niggas like you. Biased
Watch.
Knicks fan.
Knicks
Boy, you
money
put Nick
line.
money line. All right.
We still in game 1. Yo, this is how it's real. I
Wait, no,
got
do
the
you
money
want to wait? No,
close.
wait. Do you want to bet?
I'm already betting on FanDuel.
Oh yeah.
So if I lose my money, you want me to lose my money against you too, bro?
Nigga came
You
to
just want
reality.
me
He
in
said, "Oh, if I
debt.
lose my money,
Nigga just want me
whatever."
in debt. But listen, Knicks money
Nah,
line.
I said
If
Knicks in 5.
oh
That's me
shit.
giving them a game, and I don't really.
If you
I don't.
wanna if you wanna play it safe, you take the Knicks plus 8.5.
That sounds safe until you die.
That's as safe as you get. But I'm telling you, if you want to make some real
Yo,
money, if you late on your bills, man, if rent is due, and feel me, rent's due, your bills
yo,
got to be
what
paid.
song was that? Yo, Jadakiss tried to tell y'all nigga. I'm forgetting the song. He said, "Yo, I lost 50,000 fucking with the Knicks, nigga." I'm telling
I'm
you.
telling you,
Yeah,
I'm
hold
telling
on.
you, if your rent's due, feel me, if you wanna book that vacation this summer, feel me, you wanna buy that new car, if you want to have a great weekend, if you want to go out in the spots and pop bottles, you take Nick's money line for however much money you've got, man. If you get paid this week, you take your whole paycheck, you throw it on the Nick's money line
You're
on
not doing
Monday
that
because we
though.
still in game 1.
Why are you telling people to do that and you didn't do that?
Wait, you don't know what I'm doing.
Sebastian, you didn't. So why are you lying to me?
I took my whole check and placed it on the Nick's money line.
Yeah, your girl might drive her car through your fucking front door. Like,
Yo,
what the
listen,
fuck?
man. There's another week to get paid, bro. But
Alright. You
this
about
paycheck,
you about to
it,
start eating them crustables and mad cereal and shit, nigga.
yo,
You ain't gonna
listen,
have no
all
fucking
right, bro.
money.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm taking
Alright.
Nick's money line with my whole paycheck,
I'm
bro.
staying far away from Nick's
It's
money
either
line. That
it's
sounds
either
safe.
it's either I'm eating bread and water or ramen noodles, or I'm eating filet mignon at Roof Chris because of the Nick's fucking money line, bro.
Yeah, right. Alright,
Ah,
so moving on. We got. If I want to just get through all these series, so we can be done with it. The Miami Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't think we ever talked about that series.
snooze fest. There's nothing to talk about. Snooze fest.
So Are you
Did you
done?
watch any game for real?
I watch some of the games. Yeah, we have to watch the games because we do a podcast. You dumb idiot.
No, I did watch the
So
games, but I turned it
can
off.
I just get through with them without you cutting me off, please?
Let's get to the real series.
Like the Miami Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Cavs won 4-0. Besides game four, I think games two and three is actually pretty competitive, but the Heat just don't have enough. And it was kind of very clear in that game four. It was like they was confused out there. They ain't know what they was doing. Cleveland just steal after steal. Just you got Jared Allen on the fast break looking like LeBron. I wasn't sure what was going on. Um Tyler, let me say Tyler Hero. I don't see what does that do for your confidence or your team's confidence if you go out and say we can't win without Jimmy. But what are you talking about? He's not on the team anymore. Why are you
Realistically, you
talking
could
about
win.
us? Well, but why are you talking about a? It's not about being. You're trying to give confidence to your team. You're down 3-0. You think the words to say was, "Yeah, I know we need Jimmy to win." What?
That man was a realist. He see when game three happened, it was quiet. But
But you don't know, sir. We understand that, but you don't say that as one of the leaders of the team.
yeah, that's true.
You don't say
But
that.
one thing though, I'm confused. How the fuck did all the media attention get on him? Where was Bam in all of this? I haven't heard nothing about Bam Adebayo, and I could swore that Bam is should be the best player on the Miami Heat. Am I not mistaken?
Over Tyler Hero?
Yes, the All Stars is there. The
I
USA
don't. I'm
like
not talking about. See, when you ask me that, I'm not thinking about acting. I'm thinking about who's the better player. I don't know.
I feel like it should be
Bam looks
Bam.
suspect in some of these games. I don't know who the better
That's
player
what
is.
I'm saying.
Oh,
Nobody said nothing about Bam Adebayo this whole time. Like, are we just gonna skip past? Like, feel me? He didn't perform for real. There's not one game where I see I Bam put the team on. Like,
no, yeah,
are we just gonna skim past that? Like, the media
no,
just picks and choose who they talk about.
Jared Allen had him looking crazy. So I don't know. He got to take a look in the mirror. He has to get better. I mean, if that's gonna be your guy, if he's gonna be your third option, then I get that. But I don't like. I don't. He Bam Bam did say it perfectly himself. He said that in the off season, there's gonna be some changes made by the man with the silver hair, and they're gonna have to figure out how to win a playoff game because they just haven't really been able to do that without the services of Jimmy Butler. So they have a lot of decisions to make. Got to make some trades and sign some better people. You give away Jimmy Butler for Andrew Wiggins, and let me say one thing: Andrew Wiggins looked really bad.
The lights were too bright. But you know who looks
And
solid though out there? Davion Mitchell. Shout out to Davion Mitchell.
I don't give a fuck about Davion Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
The Miami Heat have to get better. Davion Mitchell ain't gonna be your motherfucking savior. Where was Davion Mitchell in Game Four when it was down 56 at halftime? There was Davion Mitchell.
On the bench with the rest of the niggas that didn't
Oh,
perform.
so I don't hear about no damn Davion. But that's not getting y'all to win a playoff game. Y'all need to figure out what to do with this Bam and Tyler Hero situation because y'all you can't win a play. I don't. Can you win a playoff game with those two being your two best players?
At this point, no.
And that's odd. It's like Jimmy left, and I was like, y'all, because that game four, they put the camera on Pat Riley, and he looked like he was about he in his mind he was thinking like Joe Goldberg, and he was thinking about how to kill everybody on the damn team. So
Disappointed.
they just gotta make a lot of moves this offseason, figure out the direction they want to go in terms of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah, they're clearly the to me, it's still the second best team in the East. I don't think they're better than Boston, but what I do like, what I've seen from Cleveland, everyone knows their roles to a T.
Maturity, I feel like.
Like they know the offensive scheme they want to run. They know what they want to do defensively. They know who's the first option, second option, third option. The shooters know that they're just they're just corner boys. The Cleveland Cavaliers is a very well coached team, and is a tough team to beat. Um, the most dangerous person in life is the person who knows who they are, right? So it's like you got to figure out who's gonna be able to stop them, right? But
Yes, 100%.
you have anything else to say about that series? No. What else series was there that we haven't really talked about? What am I missing right now?
The Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana
The
Pacers.
Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers. Where do I start? Let's start with the bad. Milwaukee's fucked. Um, because they just got no draft. Everyone know they got no draft capital, no trade pieces, nothing. Like they just really have Giannis now. If I'm Milwaukee, I'm doing everything I can to not trade Giannis. You're not gonna get the same value back. You're not getting a generational player back. So I gotta do everything we can. But now it's like they might not even play next season. So you just, I don't really know what do you exactly do.
You're fucked.
Well, I know I do know what you gotta do. You gotta fire Doc Rivers. Um, that's probably the easiest thing to do first, is to get rid of Doc Rivers. Oh, and
I,
Darvin Ham. I don't want to see either. Your top two coaches was Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham.
I said this. I told you, bro. If it's a Doc Rivers team, what can go wrong will go wrong. I told you this, bro.
No,
It's not,
no,
it doesn't
no,
even have to
but
be his
it's not.
fault.
No, but
It
it's
doesn't
one. It,
because Gary Trent didn't even catch the ball. It's not even Darvin Ham. I mean, not even fucking Doc Rivers' fault. It's just the energy he brings. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong, bro. Them niggas are up 7 with like 30 seconds to go.
yeah. So I watched that game, and it was just such a small percentage for the Bucks to. I mean, the Pacers to even win. It was crazy because I had Pacers money line, so I'm really watching like, yo, I'm fucked, and somehow they like it just got away from them. Like I don't really know. The Bucks just got to get better. Brook Lopez got to be traded.
Gone.
I
I
guess
might
it,
trade Bobby Portis for some value.
I don't know. I mean, depends what you get back. That was one of your damn near that was your second best player once they went down. So I
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but Kyle Kuzma. Kyle
well,
fucking Kuzma. I really want to know what the fuck happened to Kyle Kuzma. Do you know what happened to Kyle Kuzma? Like, do you know was
all I could say is I kind of brought this up with right with Detroit, right? Going from playing nothing basketball to meaningful basketball to where every possession counts. That's the only thing I can say. Besides that, everything else I can't really say because he is a
you know
basketball player and gets paid
you
a
know what I
lot of
could say to
money
Kyle Kuzma?
and is a champion. But listen, I don't know.
Get ready to learn Chinese, buddy.
All right, yeah, that joke is funny, but he's not going to China.
Joe Manchi. You ever seen that video? Shang Shui.
All right, but he's not going to China though.
He's going to China, bro. That
No,
nigga
he's
was
not.
trash, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. And
Nah,
I'm
he
one of the
wasn't
people
good.
that
He
was
wasn't good. He wasn't
advocating
good.
for. I was advocating for this nigga Cal Kuzma. I said, "Oh, that's a great pickup for them. A young, athletic guy that could get up, down the floor. Feel me? I'm thinking he's gonna do what he did with Bron that in the Lakers, bro. That nigga play like complete garbage, bro. There wasn't a shot he can't hit, bro. You might have outscored him in this series if you got some fucking burn, bro. That nigga Cal Kuzma was so bad, bro. I don't understand what the fuck. He couldn't do shit right out there, bro. You ask him to defend, he not defending. You ask him to score at least 10 points, he gives you 8, bro. Like, he's giving me flashbacks of Tobias Harris in Philly, bro. That's how bad he was, bro. Like, feel me, everybody trying to do their part. Gary Trent was doing his part, like, feel me, to keep the team above float. Who else? Kevin Porter, bro. A nigga was just out the league playing in fucking Lebanon last year. And he comes out and he still plays better than you, and you've been in the NBA for how long? Give me a fucking break, man. Trash, man.
I told you, I sent that in the chat after game one. What did I say? I said, yo, if he plays like this, continuing this series, or the Bucks is screwed.
Joe
Um,
Manchi, Shang Shui.
Now that's funny about him. Aldrich, he's not going to China. We said this about Dylan Brooks, and he actually scored points. And he didn't go to China. Now we're going to send Kyle Kuzma. He's not going
You
to China.
gotta send Kyle Kuzma to the G League, bro.
Kyle Kuzma is still a young player who still has some type of value, and he'll still be in the league. Funny joke though. So the Pacers, what won the series? I feel like I'm becoming more and more of a fan of the Indiana Pacers.
I said the same thing,
I
yo.
like, I like their whole
I give
team.
Tyrese Halliburton his respect. I'm just like, because I'm watching the game and he's just going at whoever. He's getting to the basket to send the game into overtime. He blew by somebody to it and dunked that shit and start yelling at the basketball. I'm like, it's that dog I want to see. That's that dog I want to see. I'm
Nah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah, definitely. He didn't care who it was. I think he and shout out to Tyrese Halliburton. We all seen the survey, the poll that came out, who was the most overrated player, and they all the anonymous players, right, said that it was him, which is I think is ridiculous. There's players who are worse than Tyrese Halliburton, but he seems that right. So his friends might jokingly might be clowning on him and stuff like that. He said, "Bet he went in this series." And you could literally say won the series. He hit the game winning shot that damn near won the series.
facts, another
Double
game
clutch,
winner
double clutch layup over Giannis
against against Giannis too. At that,
over Giannis and the Kumpo. So, but this team is deep, and I think this Cleveland Pacers series to me is gonna be a little closer than we think.
I do think so too. I
I
think
feel like I'm gonna let you
they
go.
kind of equal. My fault.
Let me go. Tyrese Halliburton, you got Aaron Neesmith, you got Pascal Siakam, you got Miles Turner, you got Nemhard, you got a nigga like James Johnson on the bench just ready to kick somebody ass. Right? You got Benedict Mathurin. You got all these players that you can throw out there. I just talked about a little earlier about knowing your role, talking about Cleveland. There's a team, all of them know their role. And I think they're tough to beat. Um, that home crowd really gets behind them. It's the difference between having a home court and home court advantage.
Right.
Right? So they definitely have home court advantage playing in that building. They're well coached, right? Shout out to Rick Carlisle. I think when he moved from Dallas to Indiana, a lot of people say, "Oh, he's an older coach. He don't really know how to communicate with the younger players and his system." And he just keeps winning,
Facts.
right? So just shout out to the whole organization. Um, we are going to talk about the aftermath of what happened by his daddy, Tyrese Halliburton. But yeah, the better team won clearly. Um, yeah. How do you just feel about that series?
That series I felt like it wasn't fair because Dame Lillard did get hurt. I definitely wanted to see a rematch from last year with everybody healthy, but in the playoffs, you can't feel me. You gotta play with the hands you're dealt with. So in that case, yep,
Just one thing. Sorry, to cut you off, and then you can go. If Damian Lillard played this series, they were going to lose. Go ahead.
yeah, respectfully. I mean, even if they but the thing is, I would rather see them lose with Damian Lillard, so I see where the Milwaukee Bucks really are as a team, rather just being healthy and all that. But rather than seeing them lose this way, just like it's bound to happen. There was only so much Giannis could do. But like, feel me, the hands he dealt with. Like, I just think that right now the Pacers. I'm looking at this team every time I'm watching the team. It's just like it's not a one man show for real. Yeah, Tyrese Halliburton might be the best player on the team, but it's never a one man show. You always got guys like Pascal Siakam that's gonna put up numbers. Andrew Nimhart, I feel like he's took a step up and got better. He's one of a low key underrated player in the aspect that he can put the ball in the basket. He can play make when it's time to play make. He's a secondary playmaker for Tyrese Halliburton, and he does a great job at it. Another guy that when I look at it, he's giving them valuable minutes too. Obi Toppin, somebody that knows when to run the floor and when to space the floor for threes and just knows his role there. I feel like that's a good player to have off the bench too. And their bench too is just I can't say enough about the bench. It's just like everybody's ready to play as soon as their numbers call up. I got like TJ McConnell too, somebody that's always going to be a pest on defense and just hit these tough mid range shots. It's like this is the same sort of, well, basically, this is the same team that went to the conference finals last year for a reason. Despite everybody being injured, they still play. They play how they play. They don't switch up for like nobody for real. Their plays are relatively healthy all the time. So it's just like they have all the components, and just to make this series against Cleveland tough. So I just want to let when I'm watching them play, it's just like, damn, they have very great offense. The defense might not be as great as the offense, but their offense is like everybody's involved in the offense. And I feel like that's something scary to see when everybody could get touches, because there's been numerous games where everybody in Indiana finishes with double-digit points. And it's just like once that becomes a thing, it's just like, who do you guard? And I feel like numerous times throughout the series, it's been like everybody's getting a piece of the cake.
Yeah, so I agree with all your points. The Cavs and the Pacers is gonna be a good series. Just from the second round, I'll probably say Cavs in 7 games. Um, but yeah, the Pacers is just gonna be a force to be reckoned with for years moving forward if they just keep that same core, right? You talk about a guy
Right,
like Miles Turner, who's always been in trade rumors and this, that, and the third, but they've continued to keep him on the roster, probably because they couldn't find a good trade for him. But either way, it's worked out, right? I
right,
think, and here's the thing: I think that it is important, and you see it with some teams more than other teams. Teams where they like playing with each other.
right. Chemistry definitely goes a long way over there too. Well, for both teams actually.
Exactly, right? So once again, though, with the Bucks, because these ideas keep coming in my head, they really got fired Doc Rivers because if you just look at the offense that they run, it's disgusting. And even when Dame was like, even if you look at that game 1, they couldn't stay with Indiana. They was playing from behind the whole game. Like so, Dame, healthy or not, is a good player, but just the type of offense that they run just isn't suitable. Who was their coach before Adrian Griffin?
What was it? Mike Boone was there?
No, no, for the Bugs. Was it
Oh, for the
Griffin?
Bucks?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. You said before Adrian Griffin.
No, I was saying Adrian Griffin was the guy
Oh,
that was
yeah.
before his own, right? They would have had a better chance with him. Because at least their offense now, more people was getting involved and they averaged a lot more points. You kind of needed scoring in this exact series and you couldn't get it.
At all.
The
That's
only
one thing.
thing that Doc Rivers does is slow the game down. So that kind of makes them look like a better defensive team because
And he yells with
it's
his
less
raspy
fast
ass
paced,
voice.
but it doesn't really make anything better. Like you have Damian Lillard and Giannis, probably the best two modern day scorers we've ever seen. Y'all struggling to win games.
That's what I'll be thinking, bro. Why are
So
they
it's
struggling?
a problem. It's definitely a problem. Doc Rivers probably should never be a coach again. Definitely,
You think
definitely.
he goes back to? You think he goes back to recording? I mean, to being on broadcast.
No, yeah, like go back on the Bill Simmons podcast and keep just talking about the game. He's still a legendary coach, and was a decent player. Definitely a Hall of Fame coach, right?
Right.
Just not anymore. Just everything has an expiration date. Relationships, friendships, milk. Everything got an expiration date. Okay. And yours coaching in the NBA is just up. All right. And that's just that. So, who do you have in the Cavs and Pacers series?
I got Indiana in 7.
Why do you have Indiana in 7?
I just, I just think that they could put up a fight with the Cavs. I think they have a lot of components that meshes well. A lot of times with the Cavs too, I have this type of questions as well. My main question is Darius Garland going to be able to perform? I know time and time again that we say like, can he step up his game? He had a great first round. Well, I mean, he didn't really play because of the toe injury. Is he going to be healthy? You know what I'm saying? But can he help step up his game in order to get these guys above the hump and get them to the conference finals? Tyrese Halliburton's been to the conference finals already. I think they know what it takes now. I definitely feel like a guy like Miles Turner definitely can contain a guy like Jared Allen. Pascal Siakam holds his own against Evan Mobley. When I look at it, it's just going to come down to the stars. I do believe in Donovan Mitchell, but I feel like there's only so much he could do if scoring is not coming from anybody else.
Um, no, I mean, I feel like they're a well balanced team, just like Indiana. I don't think the scoring comes from one place. Evan Mobley's become a better scorer. It will now
Right.
take point shots. Jared Allen's a better scorer. Darius Garland has been scoring before he got the toe injury. You got Donovan Mitchell. You got a guy like Ty Jerome who comes off the bench who can give you 20 on any given night. All right. Who else on the Cleveland bench I'm forgetting about? Now your audio set. Audio's gone.
Oh, guys like Max Strus, DeAndre Hunter,
Right. There you go. I'm freaking got that Max Strus who has elevated his scoring in the playoffs.
Dean Wade.
You got a guy like DeAndre Hunter who at any given moment could damn near give you 30. Right? So this is
Right.
a different cast team from last year. I'm not worried that if Donovan Mitchell isn't scoring, that they still can't keep pace because I think they've shown the whole season that they can just with how this roster was constructed. And shout out to Kenny Atkinson for definitely just turning this team to an even better version of themselves from last year. And
Right,
so
100%.
that one thing I think that might be damn near the best series of the next round. So how you feeling about Oklahoma City right now? You know they're waiting for their opponent, whether it's gonna be Golden State or Houston. Just how do you feel about them? Just
No, no, no. So I think it's Denver or
Denver and OKC, my fault.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. But I think sometimes getting a lot of days off in a playoff might be a detriment to you, or it could be a good thing or a bad thing when you come out game one because you haven't been in game in a while. And I feel like just whoever team wins comes out the first game could either be tired or could either carry that momentum into the next series against Oklahoma City Thunder. But for this team, they're relatively young. I think just them being able to come out and just handle business. I think right now they're just locking in. They're paying attention closely to each series, watching a lot of film on what's on both teams' tendencies, so they could be ready for that game one. I think right now with just them is just like just sticking to the process of what they're doing. They got out of that Memphis series with flying colors. The only thing I'd say I'd worry about is their weakness when they're down. Because when that game three against the Memphis Grizzlies, before John Morant got hurt, they was up 30 on them. And John Morant said like he had them figured out. I mean, he didn't play the rest of the game. He didn't play the rest of the series, but being up 30 and saying you had somebody figured out, I mean, they were on to something, I guess. I
He's
guess you want to say that.
he's
Because
fine
that
in the
series,
West.
he hanging on for dear life in the West, man.
He said that he was fine in the West, and now he said that he had him figured out. Like, so,
Yeah, bro. Sometimes y'all just be saying, just he just be talking sometimes. But I do believe that feel me, there is a weakness to the Oklahoma City Thunder that could get exploited. But right now, I just think that they're just perfecting this, craft and just paying attention. But I got to see how they play game one. They could either come out rusty because they haven't played in like damn near a week and a half, or they could come out swinging with flying colors and protect home court.
do you think either Denver or the Clippers can beat OKC?
Yeah, of course. I do think that feel me, just them still being young and just they don't really have that second go-to scorer. They have a bunch of great pieces, great young talent, but you're gonna need somebody to step up. I feel like just seasoned veteran guys like a Jokic or a fucking Kawhi Leonard, I feel like they could be the best player in the series. And it's gonna feel me. It's gonna be a point in time where we're gonna look at Shea like, where's all these 30-point games at? Shea Gildas is gonna have to perform in the second round too. If he haven't even want to think about sniffing the Western Conference Finals, there's gonna be a little bit pressure on Shea because you are MVP player right now. You are like first in MVP voting. You are the first seed in the West. You did have the best record in the NBA. There's going to be pressure. There's going to be pressure on you to perform to get to the conference finals now. It can't be like last year where you lost in 6 to Dallas. You got to perform this year too. And I think that's the part that people don't understand. It's just like once you get to a certain point and that you're doing great and every year you're elevating, the pressure's just only gonna rise to where people are gonna start expecting more out of you. So there will start being talks if Shea don't feel me get to the conference finals or don't put up.
Mm. So, a question just came in my head in terms of the Memphis Grizzlies just going into the off season. And it's as simple as, do you trade John Morant this off season?
Um, no, I do feel like he's still your franchise guy. I think just him and Jaren Jackson just definitely elevated. I think it's about putting the right pieces around. I feel like compared to the 22 season where they had the Dylan Brooks, the Tyus Jones, you really don't have much to bank off of. You was just playing a lot of rookies. You playing random casual guys. Like you don't really have a center. Brandon Clark has been out from damn near like 2 seasons now, if you want to count that. You don't have a real traditional big. You have Zach Edey, but Zach Edey, you've seen in the playing was a liability. So you're gonna have to get another big to play backup minutes for him. I think there's a lot of things you got to work on. I do think you keep Gigi Jackson. I think Desmond Bain might be the odd man out. I think he might have to go. Other pieces, you might need some more veteran pieces. I feel like they're still a young team. You don't really have no real vets on this Memphis team, so it's a lot that got to be worked on in Memphis. I think just them keeping the coach shows that they want to feel me build something here. They want to build something going further. Now it's just about putting the right pieces together. It's about building. It's about rebuilding the Memphis culture.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, if I'm the GM, unless I got something crazy back, I'm not trying to trade John Morant. I'm just hoping that John Morant just realizes what he could really do with his career.
Yeah,
He's
don't.
he's a great young player, and I love that he's loving life right now, and just living life. I feel like we would all do that if we got a lot of money like that. Just go a little crazy sometimes, and you may make some bad decisions, but I would always remember what I got this money for, right? And it's to
Right,
be a best player on the Memphis Grizzlies and be there when I need them. So I hope that Ja can just remember why he's been put in this position and how he can just keep moving his family forward for generations,
right,
right?
right, right. 100%, man.
So, in some other news, in some somber news, right? Greg Popovich just won't be coaching anymore. I feel like ever since I've been
My
watching,
fault. I just got to give a round of applause
we
for
could
Greg Popovich. Hella good.
definitely give a round of applause for just the type of career that he had as a coach. I remember he's been here forever since I started watching basketball, and I'm still watching it. And now he's gone. So, and especially me, me being a LeBron fan, just seeing all those battles against the San Antonio Spurs back in 2013, 2014, even back in '07, right? And just always seeing how he always had control of that team. We see a lot of times today to where it's like the players are running the league,
Right.
right? And if your star player has a problem with the coach is going to be gone 9.5 times out of 10. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but back then, it was like if Greg Popovich didn't like something, he would curse you the fuck out, and you knew to not say nothing back. And it wasn't based off being scared or it's a respect thing, right? I'm pretty sure Greg Popovich would never disrespect you, but he's gonna tell you the truth, right? I
Mm-hmm.
I I remember seeing, I forgot what exact game it was, but he was one of the coaches to where if his starting five wasn't playing well within the first minute, all of y'all out and literally putting in his bench within the first minute of the game.
Right.
If y'all don't want to run the plays correctly, then sit the hell down. Right. So he just always stood on business. We all know he had that military background, so he was already a no nonsense, right?
Right.
But the one
And
thing,
a great guy too, always stood up for what's right, civil rights activist too. Somebody that always spoke out against problems within the country, school shootings and stuff like that. Like stuff outside the league too, where he wasn't afraid to speak his mind about, even just what's going on in our own country. Like, feel me? And I think a lot of time people do say just shut up and dribble too, but I feel like a lot of times Greg Popovich did speak out against like social injustice a lot of times too. So just outside of basketball too, I know we talk a lot about basketball, but I do want to bring up the good stuff he did outside for basketball too.
Nah, facts, facts, facts. Definitely a great voice for the NBA. You know, he's still gonna be around. So I say it's somber because I miss seeing him on the sidelines. But moving up to, more just more behind the scenes, we see a lot of Spurs legends do that. Ginobili, Tim Duncan, you
Right,
know. I'm not sure about Tony Parker, kind of based off what they did to him. But a lot of these legends just still be around, just making sure the Spurs or organization is just moving in the right direction. So
right,
just shout out to him, shout out to his family, and I thought it was great because you could think about it. I never heard nothing bad about Greg Popovich, and I felt like with all players, they all have respect for him. All right. Anytime I would see these star players play the Spurs, whether they won or lost, they made sure after the game, I'm gonna give a hug to Greg Popovich.
right. Just a whole respect thing.
Right. Shout out to him, leading Team USA to those gold medal victories. Back to where he was the coach. So yeah, man. Shout out to Coach Pop. Um maybe now sometimes we could maybe see him, how sometimes these players come on these, either podcasts or, these TV announcers people to where they can, just give their thoughts on the game and just things of that nature. Hopefully we could see him in some capacity like that.
Right.
Um Yeah, shout out to Greg Popovich. Trying to think, was there some other news that happened? You kind of already said that they made that Grizzlies coach their head coach. That was sort of news. Um,
Nothing I could think of.
Nothing else, right? So just
Mm.
to end the show, just shout out to we kind of hinted Dyson Daniels. He won Most Improved Player. Shout out to him just for the leaps and bounds he took in his career. He was looking like a guy who was kind of be out the league soon. Wasn't really too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Then went to the Hawks and just completely just turned his career around. So definitely was warranted. Shout out to the other finalists, Zubac and Kate Cunningham, who both had great seasons. Defensive Player of the Year. You brought it up. Evan Mobley won that award. I believe the other two finalists was once again Dyson Daniels and then Draymond Green. Shout out to all three of them. They all has had great seasons. The Kia Clutch Award obviously went to the right dude. Shout out to Jalen Brunson once again for what he did this season and continues to do without this playoff run for the New York Knicks right now. Did they give out any more awards?
I'm not too sure about Coach of the Year, and I think MVP's left.
Okay. Okay. So, I guess to end it off, you got about 3 minutes left. Who do you think should win MVP, Shea or Jokic, and why?
Shea Gilgis, man, I think when you're the best player on the best team and has the best record in the NBA, averaging 30 points, I think that's just a testament to just being consistent for the whole season. There has been no significant drop offs with Oklahoma City Thunder. He's played when there was literally no bligs, and they still was one of the best teams in the NBA, and they played when they had their healthy lineup, and he's always been a consistent factor. Led the league in the most 30-point games, 40-point games, and 50-point games. So when I look at all of that and his top five in steals and defensive win shares, I have n- I have no reason not to give it to him. That's no knock on Jokic and the season that he had, but I'm just gonna respect the model of consistency and somebody that's just been, just like I said, consistent.
Yeah, so it's hard for me to choose who because I don't know what the criteria is. I'm waiting for the NBA to put out what is the criteria for MVP because
They'll
now
never, because that's just them switching their narrative.
yeah, I feel like it's a narrative driven award every single year. It's kind of what the media just puts out, right? Because we can talk about Shea and Tatum. Well, I said Shea and Tatum, Shea and Jokic, but what about Jason Tatum? How come he is not getting any love? All right, what happened to Donovan Mitchell, best player on the best team? I felt back in the day that was the criteria, wasn't I? Her best player on the best team.
True that.
So now, if we're talking about most valuable player, and statistically, how is it not Jokic? They both led their
Zip.
teams to the playoffs.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it's a weird thing to where you got to pick and choose who you want. It's just really who the media is favoring or if it's voters fatigue.
Yeah, so I think that's something that has to be fixed. There's too many just it's a narrative driven award, and I think if it's most valuable player, should be the player who dominated the league the most and probably has the best statistics.
A
Like I
hundred
just
percent.
we got to get that figured out. But shout out to both of those, gentlemen. Whoever ends up winning the award, it definitely be well deserved. But that's gonna do it for this episode of It's Debatable NBA edition. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and to keep following us on all social media platforms at It's Debatable double underscore. Follow me, Justin Jones, on Facebook for details and developments on the platform. Please go out on YouTube and subscribe. Please watch all the videos that we got out. If you're a WWE fan, we definitely got a whole bunch of content on that. We had Layla on about a month ago. If you want to see that interview, please go check that out. It was definitely a great sit down. We are going to have more interviews for both basketball and WWE moving forward. So just be on the lookout for that. Let us know in the comments who do you want to see on the show or what do you want to see us talk about. As soon as football opens back up, we're really gonna dive into that and really, break down the upcoming season and the draft. We never talked about the Shador Sanders situation. Um, and
Yeah, that's
everything that
crazy you said that. Sorry to cut you off. That's crazy you said that. Literally everything you said, I literally just said that the last episode.
that
Like
ass.
exactly word for word, bar for bar. I swear to God, bro, if I
Nah,
put a
I
play
didn't
by
even know. I
play,
didn't even know.
no, because it was just me. I don't know if you've seen the episode I put out.
No,
But
no, no.
yeah, but
I seen some of it. I just didn't watch the whole thing. I seen them.
yeah,
You
but
did a good
towards the
job.
end, literally, the way you said it, I know we didn't talk about it. I said the same shit, bro. I just had to. I'm like, yo, but yeah, nah, I'm gonna let you finish. My fault, bro. I just had to say that.
No, no, yeah. So I just felt because and then I feel like you kind of said this too on that last episode you did, just based off scheduling and just us being adults with a lot of responsibilities. We try to find time to where we can give y'all the best content. Sometimes I'll be real meticulous about the visual and the audio, and I kind of want things done right. I don't just like to just give the people anything. But Seb, shout out to you. Definitely did a great job of just taking it upon yourself to make sure that if important things are happening within the sports media world, that you do our due diligence to give our takes on it. So I'm gonna try to fix my schedule to where I could find time if I gotta do it on my own too to try to just make sure we're always talking about these topics and just what's going on. But I was talking about the football thing because, like I said, once again, once we're about a month away from the season starting, we're definitely gonna go full gear on to that. Especially, it's not gonna be too much basketball at that time, so it should be a perfect time to definitely speak about the NFL. Right? Still waiting to see where Aaron Rodgers will sign his crazy ass. Probably somewhere in the mountains right now, getting high, trying to figure out should he sign with the Steelers. There's just a lot of conversations to be had in regards to that. Um, yeah, man. Let us know if you want us to also start talking about real current event topics, right? We had
Facts.
Fabian, who it seemed like was gonna have his own segment on this platform and talk about current events. He did one episode, never dropped it. I don't know what the fuck happened to that. But I guess maybe we could talk to him if y'all want that. Just talk about current event topics. We do got the P Diddy trial coming up, and I definitely, I definitely think it's gonna be an interesting thing
Free
to
Diddy,
see. Excuse me,
free Diddy, nigga.
free Diddy.
Free Diddy, free R. Kelly,
All right, so yeah, all right,
Free
so
Joe
stop the lie.
Goldberg.
All right, stop the lie. I don't. It's debatable. It does not condone any pedophilia or rape. So we're not gonna be
Allegations.
saying free anybody right now until
Free
proven.
Joe Goldberg.
Yo, if you haven't seen You, definitely go watch season 5. Definitely out right now. Definitely gave me the closure that I was looking for. Shout out to them because it definitely made sense. I think they tied in everything well together from the first season to the fifth season. Shout out Joe Goldberg.
Fuck you, Bronte, you bitch.
Nah, shout out yo. See, we may really have to start doing a pod about random shit. Let us know if y'all want a recap on the final season of You.
Yo, I got you.
We can definitely talk about that. Talk about how that woman supposedly was to die in a fire and supposedly escaped. And I don't know how the fuck that happened. But
Fuck you, Kate. Taking a nigga's kid away, making him turn against it,
nah,
you bitch.
just off the record, it really hurt my heart. If you seen the scene to where shout out Henry, shout out to my boy Henry.
Fuck you, Henry, for switching up on your pops.
Nah, we not doing that.
That
That
little
hurt
pussy
my
ass kid.
soul when he was on the phone with Henry and he said, he remember you used to tell me there was monsters under the bed? It was you the whole time. I almost shed a tear.
Hey,
That definitely made Joe crash out. Once he heard that, the nigga lost his damn mind. But go watch You season 5 on Netflix out right now. Let us know if you want us to do a recap on the final season. But that's gonna be it. We out of here. Shout out to John Cena, who once again is the real last champion. I just always gotta say that. But we out of here.
this was doing
Jersey.
shout out. Shout out to God too for making this possible. Shout out to the Most High, man.
Oh
Jersey.
damn. All right. Damn. Shout out to God.